Have you ever paid 40 bucks for a steak that tasted like it was grilled on a George Foreman and wondered, seriously, what am I paying for here?
Tell that cook you better not screw up them steaks. We're kind of particular about our meat.
Today, we're doing something bold. We're ranking America's biggest steakhouse chains from absolute worst to surprisingly worth your money. Not by how fancy their logos look or how many celebrities eat there, but by what actually matters: flavor, texture, consistency, and whether you'll actually want to come back for more. So grab your steak knife and fork, because we're about to slice through America's most famous steakhouse chains. Taking the crown for absolute worst flavor is Sizzler, the chain that once brought steak and lobster combos to the masses back in 1958. This family steakhouse exploded to 270 locations in the 1980s by pioneering affordable surf and turf for under 10 bucks and those legendary all-you-can-eat salad bars. But things went sideways when Sizzler got so obsessed with luring crowds through endless buffets that they slashed costs on their actual steaks. What started as a legitimate steakhouse became a salad bar destination, where the steak was just an afterthought. Their signature surf and turf combo might have been legendary at $9.99, but when customers started treating the buffet as the main course instead of an add-on, Sizzler responded by cutting quality across the board. The result? Steaks that taste bland, chewy, and frankly, forgettable. Sure, they employed on-site butchers at every location to keep things fresh. But fresh doesn't matter when you're serving USDA select-grade beef that's been cooked to death. After 2 bankruptcies and dropping to just 100 locations, Sizzler has become more nostalgic punchline than Steakhouse. The unlimited shrimp cocktail might trigger childhood memories, but your taste buds will remind you why this chain nearly vanished. Logan's Roadhouse slides into number 10 as the steakhouse equivalent of that reliable friend who's perfectly fine but never exciting. Founded in Kentucky in 1991, Logan's built its brand on country comfort food, mesquite grilled steaks, and those famous buckets of free peanuts you could crack at your table. The atmosphere hits all the right notes: t-shirt-friendly casual dining, big screen TVs for the game, and servers who actually know their way around steak temperatures. Their wood-grilled sirloin and country-fried steak deliver exactly what you'd expect: decent flavor without any surprises. Those hot yeast rolls are legitimately addictive, and the come-as-you-are vibe means you can dig into a ribeye without changing out of your work clothes. But here's the issue. Logan's plays it so safe that nothing stands out. The steaks are fine. Not terrible, not amazing, just fine. After weathering 2 bankruptcies and multiple ownership changes, the chain feels like it's constantly playing defense rather than trying to excel. You'll get a reliably cooked piece of meat and a casual atmosphere, but don't expect your taste buds to do a happy dance. Logan's earns this low ranking because in the steakhouse game, fine just isn't enough when you're competing against chains that actually care about flavor. Outback Steakhouse lands at number 9, the chain that's all flash and marketing with steaks that rarely live up to the hype. Founded in Florida in 1988 with that over-the-top Australian theme, Outback became famous for the bloomin' onion, not their beef, which should tell you everything. The theatrical elements work. The giant fried onion is Instagram gold, the bread arrives hot, and the Australian branding creates a fun atmosphere that kids love. But when it comes to the actual steaks, Outback consistently underwhelms. They use USDA choice grade beef instead of prime, which means leaner, less marbled steaks that lack the rich flavor serious steak lovers crave. Multiple reviews confirm what many suspect. Steaks often arrive overcooked, tough, or bland. That bone-in ribeye might look impressive, but it frequently tastes thin and dry. There's even a persistent rumor that well-done steaks get the lowest quality cuts to speed up cooking times, though Outback denies this. The real problem? Outback treats steak as a supporting actor to their appetizer show. When your signature dish is a fried onion instead of perfectly grilled beef, you've lost the plot. Sure, the prices are reasonable and the atmosphere is family-friendly, but you're essentially paying for dinner theater where the main course is an afterthought. The bloomin' onion might be legendary, but legendary steaks? Not so much. Saltgrass Steakhouse ropes in at number 8, the Texas-themed chain that talks a big game about mesquite-charred perfection but delivers more atmosphere than actual flavor excellence. With 95 locations mostly concentrated in Texas and the Southwest, Saltgrass plays up the cowboy steakhouse angle with wood-fired grills and servers in cowboy hats. The positives are real. Hand-cut steaks cooked over mesquite do pick up legitimate smoky flavor, and multiple reviews praise their ability to nail medium rare consistently. The atmosphere feels authentically Texan rather than corporate manufactured, and the service tends to be genuinely friendly and knowledgeable about doneness levels. But here's where Saltgrass stumbles. The steaks are consistently described as solid and reliable rather than exceptional. For a chain that markets itself as Texas steak perfection, that's not enough. The cuts are properly cooked, but lack the rich, beefy flavor that makes you close your eyes and savor each bite. It's competent steakhouse cooking, but not memorable. Saltgrass feels like it's trying to be the neighborhood steakhouse equivalent of a local barbecue joint, friendly, consistent, and satisfying. But without the flavor intensity that would justify the premium pricing, you'll get a properly grilled piece of meat in a fun atmosphere. But don't expect the kind of steak that makes you plan your next visit before you've finished chewing. Good execution of average ingredients equals an average ranking. Fleming's Prime Steakhouse swims into number 7 as the upscale chain that looks perfect on paper but stumbles in execution. Founded in California in 1998 and owned by Darden, Fleming's promises contemporary steakhouse, dining with USDA prime beef, extensive wine lists, and that polished business dinner atmosphere. The ingredients are legitimately premium. USDA prime steaks, aged for 21+ days, generous portions, and classic steakhouse sides like lobster mac and cheese. The tomahawk ribeye is visually impressive, and when Fleming's gets it right, the beef does deliver rich, buttery flavor that justifies the price premium. The wine menu is extensive, and the atmosphere hits that sweet spot between upscale and approachable. But consistency becomes the killer here. Multiple reviews mention steaks that arrive overcooked, underseasoned, or simply lacking the intense beef flavor you'd expect from prime-grade meat. For a chain charging premium prices and marketing prime beef as their signature, this kind of inconsistency is unforgivable. Fleming's ranks here because it has all the right components, quality ingredients, proper aging, skilled cooking techniques, but fails to execute consistently across locations. When they nail it, the steaks can be genuinely excellent. When they don't, you're left paying Morton's prices for Outback Steakhouse results. In the steakhouse world, consistency matters as much as quality, and Fleming's hasn't mastered either well enough to rank higher. Ruth's Chris squeaks into number 6, the chain famous for those dramatically sizzling 500-degree plates that ensure your steak stays hot from kitchen to table. Founded by Ruth Fertel in New Orleans after she bought the original Chris Steakhouse and added her name following a fire, Ruth's Chris pioneered the theatrical sizzle presentation that defines steakhouse drama. The signature sizzling plate isn't just theater, it actually works. Steaks arrive genuinely hot and stay hot throughout your meal, which helps maintain optimal texture and flavor. The USDA prime beef is properly sourced and aged, and when cooked correctly, delivers rich, juicy flavor that lives up to the premium pricing. That trademark butter-topped presentation adds richness without overwhelming the beef's natural taste. Ruth's Chris consistently nails the fundamentals: proper temperature control, quality sourcing, and reliable execution across locations. Reviews regularly praise the tenderness and flavor consistency, with many noting that their steaks arrive perfectly cooked every time. The sides, particularly the creamed spinach and garlic mashed potatoes, complement rather than compete with the beef. The ranking here reflects solid execution rather than exceptional innovation. Ruth's Chris delivers exactly what they promise: consistently well-cooked prime steaks in an upscale atmosphere. It's not groundbreaking, but it's reliably good, which counts for a lot in the steakhouse world. The sizzling plate might seem gimmicky, but when your steak stays hot and juicy throughout the meal, gimmicks become useful tools. Good steakhouse fundamentals executed consistently. Morton's cracks the top 5 as the business dinner steakhouse that actually backs up its "We serve the best steak anywhere" motto with consistently excellent beef. Founded in Chicago in 1978, Morton's built its reputation on USDA prime cuts dry-aged for 50-plus days and hand-cut to order, and the results show in every bite. The dry-aging process genuinely transforms the beef, concentrating flavors and creating that distinctive, funky, nutty complexity that separates great steaks from merely good ones. Their bone-in ribeye develops incredible depth after 50 days of aging, while the filet mignon achieves that perfect balance of tenderness and rich beef flavor that makes you understand why people pay premium prices. Morton's excels at steakhouse fundamentals: proper sourcing, expert aging, precise temperature control, and consistent execution. The complimentary Yorkshire pudding-style popovers are legitimately delicious, and sides like their lobster tail and creamed spinach meet the quality standards set by the beef. When Morton's executes properly, which is most of the time, the food genuinely justifies the premium pricing. The ranking reflects both strengths and limitations. Morton's delivers excellent steaks consistently, but the atmosphere can feel stuffy and overly formal, focusing more on impressing business clients than creating memorable dining experiences. The prices will shock anyone not prepared for true high-end steakhouse costs. Morton's earns this middle-high ranking because they consistently deliver on quality, even if the overall experience feels more like expensive obligation than celebration. The Palm climbs to number 4 as the steakhouse that proves atmosphere and quality can coexist beautifully. Founded by Italian immigrants in 1926, the Palm accidentally got its name when a licensing clerk misheard La Parma, but the mistake became legendary. Those famous walls covered in celebrity caricatures, from Sinatra to modern stars, create an atmosphere that's both upscale and genuinely fun. The steaks live up to the theatrical setting. USDA prime beef dry-aged and prepared old-school Italian-American style delivers rich, complex flavors that honor the chain's nearly century-long heritage. Their bone-in ribeyes develop incredible depth through proper aging, while Italian-American classics like veal chops and lobster fra diavolo show the kitchen's range beyond beef. What sets the Palm apart is personality without pretension. Yes, you're dining under caricatures of celebrities and mobsters, but the atmosphere feels celebratory rather than stuffy. The steaks consistently deliver excellent flavor and texture, while the service strikes that perfect balance between professional and personable. You're getting high-quality beef in an environment that's actually enjoyable rather than intimidatingly formal. The Palm ranks here because it combines consistently excellent steaks with an atmosphere that makes you want to return for fun, not just obligation. The celebrity caricature walls might seem gimmicky, but they create a unique dining environment that complements rather than overshadows the quality beef. When a steakhouse makes you smile while serving legitimately great steaks, that's the kind of combination that deserves recognition. The Capitol Grill secures number 3 as the steakhouse that consistently delivers flawless execution for those milestone celebrations and important business dinners. Opening in Boston in 1990, Capitol Grill built its reputation on whisper-quiet elegance, dry-aged USDA prime steaks, and service so polished it makes other chains look amateur. The beef is consistently exceptional. Their filet mignon arrives thick, buttery, and perfectly pink, the kind of steak that cuts like butter and melts on your tongue. The porcini rub Delmonico ribeye showcases how creative seasonings can enhance rather than mask prime beef's natural flavor. Everything is aged properly and cooked with precision that turns steakhouse basics into memorable experiences. But Capital Grille's real strength lies in consistency and service. Reviews praise perfectly cooked steaks, generous portions, and service that anticipates needs without being intrusive. The atmosphere strikes that difficult balance between upscale and comfortable, impressive enough for important occasions, welcoming enough that you actually enjoy the experience. The lobster mac and cheese has achieved legendary status among sides, while their lobster bisque regularly gets described as dreamy. When sides earn their own reputations at a steakhouse, that indicates a kitchen firing on all cylinders. Capital Grille ranks this high because they've mastered the complete steakhouse experience. Exceptional beef, flawless execution, professional service, and an atmosphere that makes special occasions feel truly special. Longhorn Steakhouse, Lassos, the #2 spot as the chain that proves you don't need to blow your entire paycheck to get legitimately great steaks. Founded in Atlanta in 1981, in an old railroad station, Longhorn has grown to 600 locations by focusing on what matters most: consistently excellent beef at prices that won't break the bank. The steaks consistently deliver exceptional flavor and perfect doneness. That outlaw ribeye, a massive 20-ounce bone-in cut with herb butter, rivals steaks at places charging twice the price. The key is education. Servers actually know how to explain why your ribeye tastes better at medium rather than well done, and the kitchen honors those recommendations. Multiple video reviews confirm that a $34 steak at Longhorn can genuinely compete with $80 steaks elsewhere. Longhorn's secret weapon is their hidden Butcher's Academy, where managers learn to cut and age steaks properly. This investment technique shows in every bite. Steaks arrive with proper char, perfect doneness, and rich, beefy flavor that makes you close your eyes on the first bite. The Western atmosphere feels authentic rather than theatrical, and those bottomless corn muffins are dangerously addictive. Longhorn earns the runner-up spot because they've cracked the code on accessible excellence. You get steaks that rival much more expensive chains, servers who actually understand beef, and an atmosphere that's welcoming rather than intimidating. When a chain consistently delivers this level of flavor and value, they deserve recognition as one of America's best steakhouses. Texas Roadhouse claims the crown as America's best steakhouse chain. This place proves great steaks don't require a stuffy atmosphere or wallet-crushing prices. Founded in 1993 on a napkin sketch that included Brick Bar, peanuts, and celebrity pics, Texas Roadhouse has grown into 600 locations by obsessing over what matters most: consistently exceptional steaks and a genuinely fun experience. The steaks are simply outstanding. Hand-cut USDA choice beef grilled to perfection, with char that adds flavor complexity while maintaining juicy, tender interiors. Their 6-ounce sirloin outsells fancier cuts because it's perfectly proportioned and intensely flavorful, the kind of steak that makes you savor every bite. The butchers trim steaks fresh daily, ensuring optimal texture and flavor in every serving. But Texas Roadhouse's genius lies in combining great steaks with an atmosphere people actually enjoy. Yes, it's loud and energetic, but that energy translates to servers who care about your experience, fresh baked rolls with honey cinnamon butter that disappear faster than you can count, and an environment where celebrating feels natural rather than forced. The value proposition is unbeatable. A family of 4 can enjoy great steaks and sides for less than 2 people spend at upscale competitors without sacrificing quality. The atmosphere might not impress business clients, but when you're craving a perfectly grilled steak in an environment that makes you smile, this steakhouse delivers exactly what you want. Texas Roadhouse earns the top spot because they've perfected the complete steakhouse experience: exceptional beef, consistent execution, genuine hospitality, and prices that let you enjoy great steaks regularly rather than just on special occasions. So there you have it. From Sizzler's nostalgic mediocrity to Texas Roadhouse's rowdy perfection. The chains that ranked higher delivered on what matters most: consistently excellent steaks, proper seasoning, temperature control, and value that makes you want to return. The bottom-ranked chains? They got distracted by gimmicks, cut costs on the wrong things, or simply forgot that in the steakhouse business, the steak has to be the star. What do you think? Did we nail these rankings? Or did your favorite chain get robbed? Let us know in the comments.